Let's talk about how to make this painting of a jazz player better. It may help to look at the reference photos so we can see what we're trying to accomplish. Every painting has its problem to solve, which is part of what makes it fun. In this painting, the difficulties will be getting the drawing right, because people are harder to draw, and also a saxophone. And the second part of it is that it has two light sources. Why do I say having two light sources is a difficulty? When I was learning to paint, they told me, there's only one sun in your universe. And that would be often when we were painting a still life, and there was the light source that we set up, reflecting on the vase, making a beautiful highlight. And there were about 6 or 7 more from recessed lights and windows and other lights that we took out of the painting because they were confusing the viewer what the light source was. So I've always avoided more than one light source, but this will be interesting to look at this possibility here in this painting. So what are the advantages to picking this reference photo? Well, one of the difficulties, being the two light sources, is also one of the advantages because it's going to be interesting. That's an unusual color to have light, teal green and red. The second thing that makes it interesting is the opportunity for lost edges. There are places where we can't see where something starts and where something stops, and that makes the painting more mysterious and also lets our eye move through the painting, and that makes us believe there's more energy in the painting. And also it has high contrast and a clear focal point. So here we have light on the left and light on the right, and at first my thought is that it's red light because the red is so intense and it's just blowing out part of the saxophonist's head. But if we look at the grayscale of this photo, we can see that the lightest part is actually coming from the cool light on the right-hand side of it. One thing that I really love about this painting is the lost edge on the back of the head. It's called lost and found, meaning you can find the edges in enough places that you know the rest of it is there. So the light and the back of his head just blows out into the same color, but we've got the back of the hat telling us how far back the head goes. And we also have the shape behind the ear that goes up. And that's enough to give us the head. As far as the drawing goes, it's done pretty well with just a couple little tweaks. One is the angle of his back. He's actually leaning backwards. And it's very common for us to straighten everything up and put his back straight up, but it really needs to be angled. And he's much thinner than what he's been painted, so that will help that. We find that the arms appear to be in the same plane. Like the left arm, his left arm does not appear to be further away than his right arm. And that's because we have the same light value violet color on both arms. And especially because this one on his chest seems to be going down his arm as well. So if we take that out and we make the color on this near arm different than the color on the far arm, that will put them in different parts of space. When you use the same color, it means it's the same distance away from you. Let's talk about the light. We set this light over here on the right. It has to be much brighter. And then it's emanating, it's lighting up the gentleman's face. And this is the area that we don't want to miss this great opportunity, because everything around him is red. It's not blue like we have here in the original painting. There's red in all of this. So when we get the this greenish light on his face, on his neck, on his chin, on his eyes, his cheek, and on his hat. Let's go ahead and get all the hat. That is the opportunity to have some color excitement. The contrast of these two lights against each other is very exciting. Now, over here on the back of the head is a really fun lost edge. And it's called lost and found because at times we know where the edge is, and at other times we don't. So the hat here tells us how far back the head goes. But here on the back of the head, there's no line at all telling us where the background stops and the head starts. But I know he has one because the neck goes up so strongly into that shape, and also there's this little shadow right there. Okay, so then down here, this is all red. It's not blue. It's a very dark red. So then we get to the part where we're going to do the saxophone. And that is a very complicated thing, and we have to have a way of simplifying it. What you can do is you can put a middle value of what the saxophone is, and then put on the lights as they appear, and then put in the shadows. And what that does is it makes a saxophone without having to draw every little button and wire. So here are the before and after photos and some of the changes made. Happy painting!